3 bikes, 6 cylinders, 400 horsepower. It could only be Dream Twins. Tested to the edge of the atmosphere. Until 1998, the 996 had reigned supreme. But not many realised that the 90° V's incredible brute horsepower was almost its undoing. Race and road bike alike, the power pulses came in with such a resounding shock at the start of the rev range that they caused a ripple wave through the suspension that was hardly curable. So for 1999, Ducati concentrated not on increasing horsepower, but smoothing it out.
That ain't too shabby really. 125, most of it.
Though like the man says, 125 horsepower at the back wheel is pretty damn tough in anybody's language. And the reason Ducati had to get their act together was the very real threats from Bimota and Aprilia, the latter who would obviously benefit from the company's huge racing experience, while the former couldn't really go wrong using the brute Suzuki TL1000 engine.
That ain't too bad. For an Italian bike.
117 bhp from the standard RSV1000 easily bested the standard Ducati Bimota.
Yamaha R7.
But the engine that was to outpower them all, even though we couldn't get it on the dyno, was propelled by a Japanese, not an Italian version of events. That is, the TL-engined SP8. The chassis looked pretty good too, and now Bimota seemed to return to their roots, i.e. crafting frames for other people's engines. Their bikes seem to have improved immeasurably already.
What's that without the swinging arm? You know, kilos.
The kilos of...
Actually, the Dream Twins video already had a mark of doom over it when Shakey, having broken his scaphoid for the second time, this time wheeling a moped over Putney Bridge, was unavailable, and Gary's brother, an ex-national motocrosser, but someone who'd never ridden a road bike before, was drafted into the team.
Pinnacle race style.
To be honest, Lee was looking a little nervous. As well he might, because full bore right behind him was Frosty on the 996 SBS. Never having ridden a road bike before, any road bike, Lee was still very much into the motocross style of keeping it as upright as possible and powering it out of the corners, rather than leaning it over. This was just as well, as he started on the RSV, which, being the most flexible, we thought would also be the easiest for him to learn on. In fact, the rather over-optimistic steering only compounded his anxieties. Combine this with the fact that Lee had never seen any of these roads before, and that the others knew exactly where they're going. A 5-second deficit wasn't so bad. Quite what that means, only Rob and his speech therapist would know. By the second run down the N7 from Montdidier to Fréjus, probably overall the best road in the south of France, Lee was already starting to get the hang of it, not to mention the hang of it. See that mid-corner complex again though? Rob did. At this stage, Frost and Gazza are still playing. Lee definitely wasn't playing, however, as this front wheel slide amply demonstrates. But now he's up to speed, the boys are having to really concentrate. Did I say concentrate? Frost isn't exactly famous for it. And only the utter neutrality of the Ducati allowed him to flick it from full lean one side to full lean the other, quite like that. Once the boys had swapped bikes, the opinions of a highly skilled but totally inexperienced road rider like Lee only confirmed what we'd said all along at FB, that the 996 is simply in a different league handling-wise to the RSV, and just feels natural the moment you get on board. With Gazza leading on the melee and Rob bringing up the rear on the SP8, the boys didn't really have to slow down for Lee at all on the 996 SBS. At the end of a day, it'd be rude not to. Having hardly ever scraped a footrest, Lee is introduced to an old FB tradition, motorway knee down at 125 miles an hour. Brother Gaz shows how it's really done, about 20 mile an hour quicker even than that. And so, to the ultra-scientific Fast Bikes roll-on test.
Three, two, one, go! Three, two, one, go!
And even after more aborted countdowns than NASA, there's no doubt that it's the SB8 that blasts the lead hole in the Earth's atmosphere.
3, 2, 1, go!
This bike is fast, and make no mistake. Finally, it's on to what French motorways were designed for in the first place: unlimited wheelie practice. Trouble is, this is the third time we borrowed the same 996 SPS, and the Duke's obviously not up for it as much as Rob is.
Fucking piece of shit.
As ever, Rob is generous in his understanding. Don't suppose it could be anything to do with him now, could it? As Massimo Bordi said all those years ago when Sean first pulled a wheelie the length of the Misano start-finish straight, the bike, she is not enjoying the long wheelies.
It's done its usual fucking Ducati gut spilling. Yeah.
That's not wheelie this anymore. Fucking hell. Italiano, Angeliki. Turn it off.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
Fucking hell.
It always happens. Fucking wheelie the fucking. Not that much.
Not usually as bad as that, no. Jesus. Fucking hell. We ain't got any rag or anything, have we, for the back tyre?
That's a monster on the roll. Can you lift the bike?
There's even more oil in there than there is in Gary's
What
hair.
happened then, Gary?
Fucking Rob's fault, isn't it? It's nothing to do with us. Fifth gear Mingus. First gear, really. And he threw oil in the fairing to make it look like he did a big wheelie. Doing a grand job there, mate.
Of course, having saturated the rear tyre in oil, the boys naturally take it easy for the rest of the journey to the Luke. Once at the circuit, the ever-friendly staff led us on for a few laps, even though we hadn't made a booking. To be honest, Lee probably wishes they hadn't. And soon enough, the same machine and rider pecking order as the road was established. And that despite Gazza's best efforts to make up the difference by backing the SP8R in. But the Bimota still had the bollocks out of the corners. Even though the 996 could take it on just about any corner it fancied. Now it's Rob's turn on the SBA. And the minute he's off the melee, Lee is able to hang in there. At least he's able to hang in there till Gazza gets past and Rob gets bored. And just look at the ground the SB8 is able to make up on the Aprilia in one corner. Gazza rightly looks to the RSV for excuses. In fact, once aboard the Aprilia, Rob finds out just how hard it is to stay in contention. Against the 996, the RSV is sliding on the way in and virtually folding mid-corner and has to be ridden absolutely flat out to even stay in the frame with a casually piloted SPS. Verdict? The SP8 comes close, but the 996 is still the track daddy. Out on the road again, and Lee's in for another first. His first third gear minger. And just listen to the throttle control. It couldn't be more motocross style. Gaz, of course, has to go one better with the stand-up version. And believe it or not, in this company, Frosty almost looks sensible. Up the famous Lagarde mountain road, the Melee for once is not eclipsed, coping with the smooth third gear corners almost better than the others, if only because on terrain like this, it can virtually be left in one gear. Having said that, if Rob was on either of the two bikes in front, he'd have probably disappeared by now. And just when you feel super confident, you never know when the Melee is quite literally about to turn on you. On the longer, smoother curves the other side of the mountain, the RSV is equally at home, and though it can't quite compete with the combination of mid-corner prowess and mid-range grunt of the Ducati, it can at least hang in there. Once Gazza really puts the wick down on the SP8 though, it's all over. Believe us, this really is the RSV's limit, and no one is better equipped to find it than Frosty. Having regrouped, it's time to give Lee another couple of goes on the best bends on the best bike in the universe. Absolutely, one last time with feeling. Ooh.
Did you hit him?
Yeah.
Well, don't get that close then.
Ah, the prophetic words of Rob Frost. Day 3 dawned with a difference for a Fast Bikes video. All 3 bikes were in one piece. Did I say 3? This is how the departing thieves left the scene. With only 2 bikes left, it was naturally Lee who got retired, and in a sense, we all breathed a sigh of relief. But in a way, we couldn't have been more wrong, because it only gave Gazza and Frazza the excuse to go absolutely flazza out. At this stage, the boys are just about keeping it in their pants. But there's no doubt that it's beginning to pop out. And of course, once Gazza decided to up the pace to Super Cup qualifying standard, the road started to get thinner and thinner and thinner. Just what you need when you only broke your back 2 months ago. A 996 right up your arse.
Okay. Can't fucking move it.
Not many girls will recognize that impression. It was made by Rob's Balls. And believe it or not, Gary got away with just this.
Just made it, I did. Fucking hell, it ain't.
Foot further.
It ain't touched
Gaz
it,
would have
like.
been brown bread.
Just when we were concluding that Aprilia desperately needed an SP, they brought one out, a mere 2 weeks after the completion of the video, though of course the bike won't be on sale till the year 2000. So here we were at Mugello, on allegedly the most powerful twin-cylinder motorcycle ever built. It was a scary prospect. Especially when you consider that the SP version of the RSV didn't really address any of the problems of the original. It's still understeered and it's still tucked, and then it would oversteer. The only thing that was a definite improvement was the suspension. More to the point, despite the claims of 150 brake horsepower, it didn't feel that much quicker either. Sure, the short-stroke engine revved quicker and made better power at the top end, but overall, the bike didn't really feel that much different. And after 20 laps, we came to the conclusion that nothing, but nothing still, threatens the Ducati 996 SPS. More death style than lifestyle.
Fucking unbelievably fast.
Wait. Whoa. You got enough of that? Fuck off.
Everybody should have one.
Down to the south of F.
Finally, we all get a bee in our bonnets about a cause at some time in our lives. Global cancer care is ours. As such, we urge that if you buy no other video this year, buy Bite the Bullet, the story of Colin and Neil's trek across India on Enfield bullets to raise money for the charity. For £20, we'll also send you a free vid mag of your choice, and all the proceeds go to Global Cancer Concern. Let's say it once again. For £20, you get Bite the Bullet and a free video mag of your choice.